Hello everyone, and welcome to another Toonkind at 12 FPS. I am one of your lovely hosts today. I am Noodle or Pasta or Udon or whichever variation thereof y'all are feeling like today. And I come to you with a very fun FPS that I have been looking forward to because I love Crystal so much. Spoilers, I'm playing with Candle, who I'm going to praise, who is awesome and an amazing friend and very creative. And oh my god, I could say so many awesome things about the game that happened. By the way, spoilers for, oh my gosh, the words. Overblots. What was her game?
The Frigid Physician, I believe. Yeah, that's it.
Yes. Hi, Candle. You
Hello.
let me do the intro. I must praise friends.
I'm just. You can't see the smile I have at the moment. Just like. Ah. Hi, I'm Candle. And yeah, today I'm going to be playing one Dr. Crystal Everlight. And I don't think you introduced your character, or I didn't hear it while I was
I did
screaming in the
not.
void.
I did not, because, haha, I'm very tricky like that. Because I am bringing Crystal's Gossip Buddy today. One Jubilee Yukon. And, fair warning, getting this out right now, I point at the blot plot, and I point at the content warnings.
Yes.
Just because this FPS is planned to be soft. Because they're buddies, and they are good. But things can get a little heavy, so self-care, friends.
Yeah, please.
And it also contains spoilers for The Frigid Physician, which I recommend going to listen to. It's an amazing game. It's very fun. It's very cool. um, so, to begin. Crystal, you, after your overblot, have been whisked away, not to wherever you may have been staying before, but you have been brought to the Layton Plus household. And you've had a day or so to rest, recover, speak with a few people, and be watched over by a faithful gargoyle. I mean, Leo. Totally. Yeah. We love Marzi.
We do.
uh, playing his big brother. I must. We're already getting in character, folks. But Crystal has been here for a few days,
Yeah.
and this is an environment she has not spent over much time in. She's visited before, but hasn't stayed literal days here. So I would
No.
like for her. I would like for her to roll perception,
Ooh,
please.
fun. Alright. Let's
Mm-hmm.
do this. Oh, starting off strong.
Oh ho. Oh darling.
That was a 2 on the dice. That's an
Excellent.
8 total.
Well, that's fair. Most of the time, you've been resting, you've been recovering. And, you know, you are in a room that has probably been explained as one that the house made for you. Someone had to have, at some point.
Yeah.
The
Yeah,
house is weird.
I think it was one of the first things that happened because right after the first time she woke up was that this isn't my room was the first thing she said upon waking up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's a normal room. It's fine. The Layton house is weird. It's cool. We
Yeah.
love this house. But yeah.
This house is funky and fun.
Hmm. But as part of this, this house is also usually very noisy. There are at least a handful of teenagers who live here, and, you know, 4 brothers, and several pets.
Yep.
But this room has not been that noisy. It has allowed you to rest and recover. So you haven't heard too much of what happened beyond the door. But you do catch snippets. And you do hear occasionally a very familiar accented voice hollering at his brothers as someone runs by the door or is overly loud nearby.
I think that probably is relieving because if it was completely silent, she
Mm-hmm.
would
Yeah.
probably be more worried.
Yeah, it's not silent. There's noise, but it's like the kind of like people are it allows you to rest. You know people are there, but it's not constant chaos right outside your door.
Oh yeah, yeah. It feels more like
Mm-hmm.
the if you guys make noise outside this door, someone's going to strangle you kind of like
Yeah.
handshake around the house.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, this is the calm zone. If you start shit around here, there will be a fight. Um I will say, just for the sake of funny, I should roll. Yes. Um there has been at least one occasion where Crystal has heard uh, a holler from Jubilee and then an impact that you can assume might have been something like a pillow getting yeeted at someone.
I love that so much.
Yeah, it's I haven't always been able to make out the words, but generally it seems to be quit starting shit, let her sleep. This sucks. Don't be a little shit. Leave her alone.
This is a somewhat novel experience for her because she's been in noisy environments before. And
Mm-hmm.
I mean, she went through college. She
Yeah.
knows what that can be like, and it's not like
Mm-hmm.
the place that she's currently staying isn't loud, but also
Mm-hmm.
it's different because like the energy is different. Like younger and more chaotic than what she's used to. Like she
Mm-hmm.
lives with two old ladies, so
Yeah.
or two
No.
two old two older people, and well, there are more people that live in the house, but you know they're the ones that own it. So
Yeah. Yeah. It's a
different
very
vibe.
different vibe. Yeah. It's lively, and you can tell that this house is lively, but it's not chaotic. You do not hear the hell hour that happens. Crystal is spared from hell hour, where all the clocks go off at once.
Ah, that's nice. That's good to know, at least for now.
There's probably been shouting of like, everybody out, it's hell hour.
Oh yeah,
It
yeah.
happens.
She's a little out of her depth here.
Yeah. It's funny, but there's another familiar sound today, though a little different. Crystal, you hear someone come up to the door and knock out a little familiar, the shave and a haircut knock.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, she's just gonna uh come in.
And the door opens, which is probably a bit unexpected for who is on the other side. Because undoubtedly there have been tales told of how Juby usually enters a room. For one, he's known one place for literally kicking open the door to the point where there is an imprint of his boot permanently etched upon a door. Somewhere in Villestown, we couldn't possibly know where.
It's fine.
Yeah, and there's definitely been like a burst through other doors that she's heard once or twice. And
Yeah.
Loud
Not to
shouting.
Not to mention, she has at least seen the chat and knows that several in this household use windows as regular entryways.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I think
So go on.
I think in that case, the thing that she says to Juby is, should I be appreciative or insulted that you're using the regular method of entry?
Well, I would certainly hope it's not insulted. I'm trying to be nice. I mean, I can redo it. Do you want me to kick open the door? I can. I mean, the house might not like that, but.
Appreciative it is then.
And he'll slide inside and leave the door cracked a bit. And there's more noise that filters up from elsewhere in the house. And he'll wander in and probably drag. There's a chair or so somewhere over
Oh
and
yeah.
spin it around and sit backwards on it, arms resting over the back of the chair as he rests his chin on his folded hands. So, you're still alive. Congratulations.
Yes, I am. Apparently, despite, well, everything.
Mm-hmm. On one hand, well, I could be a prick. I sort of want to be a prick, but I won't. Something about being a hypocrite, about me being up and running around when I should have been resting or something like that. You know, telling other people about a certain blot infection or running myself ragged. How many times have you gotten on my case about that?
Okay, I need to roll something to see which way she decides to take this. Cool. All right. Yeah, because this makes sense. Like, she knows what Juby is getting at, but for right now, she is going to be a little bit stubborn about it, and she is going to gesture at the fact that she is still currently in bed and resting.
And Julie gives a pause, nods in acknowledgement. Okay, fair. You can have that. But I still think I have a point. And I think I get to say something like, maybe I'm not the only reckless one in this room. And maybe this shit sucks. And he, as he says that, he is like tilting back in the chair. It is clear he is being over dramatic on purpose.
It's the shit sucks that actually gets her. I think she does actually let out a laugh at that, like, okay, you caught her off guard with that one. And she nods and all right, fair point.
Thank you. All right. I've gotten that out of my system. Good. But for real, how are you doing? You've been better about resting than I was, clearly.
Well, complicated to say if that's. Mm, I think she's sort of stumbling over her words a little bit, like the because she was being a hypocrite and she's not going to deny that. So there's like a yeah, she is resting, but that's not exactly, well, people deal with this differently afterwards, depending on what it was that they were grappling with before. And I think she's like, she can't quite figure out the words to explain that, so she sort of just drops it, and I'm feeling better. Still tired, unsurprisingly, and cold, but again, unsurprising.
Yeah. Everything. Well, I think we've been trying to keep this room fairly warm. Is that. You don't need anything else right now, do you? And he looks at the blanket pile and the warming cube and everything.
Yeah. I'm going to actually repeat what I just put in the written FPS with Kit that I'm going to say that this happens after that at the.
Mm-hmm.
As I told Aurelia, if I end up with any more blankets, I might just end up be suffocating underneath them.
Point taken. Wasn't exactly offering more blankets. I don't think we want to crush you. That would be terrible. And, I don't feel like going on a journey, hunting for the buried crystal under the mountain of blankets.
Appreciated.
Stars. It's weird being on this side, I'll admit. The cold should probably fade within a few more days. And again, my experience with cold is it usually tends to stick around pretty long for me, but I think normally it should go hopefully soon-ish. I know the tiredness goes before the cold does.
Well, that's at least good to know. I'm not particularly used to being on this side of things either, honestly.
Okay, so I'm shit at this, I'll admit it. But I'll be honest, which again, still fairly new at. Uh you scared the hell out of all of us. You're Doctor, you're the smart one here. We know that, I'm reckless, so it makes sense why I pulled stupid shit. But after this, are you genuinely okay now? Or at least closer to it? I know it's not a magic fix, even if it does help.
Closer to it. But no, I've. Well, I guess it really did put some things in perspective. Let's just say that.
Yeah. I mean, can I ask what happened? You don't have to answer me. I know it can be a touchy subject.
I. Well, I suppose it's been. It had been building for a while. Um, certain events recently certainly didn't help.
Yeah. To be cringing. Like, oh, yeah. Ugh, that probably didn't help at all, did it?
Yeah, there's a slight wince, like, because, yeah, yeah,
Mm,
like, the
yeah.
things that he told her definitely didn't help,
Yeah.
like, it was straight back to back, and, oh,
Yeah.
yep.
He does kind of rub at the back of his neck a bit sheepishly as he sinks a little lower on where he's sitting on the chair. Like, yeah, sorry.
That's not your fault.
Yeah. But
I don't know, just... I don't know whether it was the others showing up at my office or whether it would have happened regardless. I just couldn't take it anymore.
Yeah, tends to feel like that. If it makes it easier, because I mean, if you want a question for a question, can I ask what it? I don't know how to phrase it. I don't know if you ever said what it is, but there was a word or thing that it kept pulling on when I changed. What? I'm trying to figure out how this works.
I'm grasping it, but perhaps if you explained more.
So, and he sits back some and kind of taps his fingers along his arm before stepping back and standing up. Visual examples help. When I thought that mine was a villain arc. Didn't exactly know what was going on, but when it didn't take over, but when things came to a head, for me it was, and he snaps his fingers, and his outfit changes. And it's kind of in a slow ripple as it goes, but it's familiar. It's a glamour. And it changes from the comfortable clothes he's got at home with the scarf and the light colors to red and black and only the faintest gold of an outfit that looks flashy and showy and looks like an overdramatic villain. And you want to roll insight?
Sure.
Go ahead.
That looked like it was going to be good, and then it wasn't. 8.
8. Roll advantage. Just
Thank
because she's
you.
also overblotted, yeah. And this is also your gossip buddy.
No, that was worse.
I'm looking away. I don't see it.
Alright, one more time.
I'm looking away.
Okay, that's better.
Mm-hmm.
For context, the next one was a 5, so...
Jiminy Cricket. Rude. Rude dice. So, with this, I also have a question to ask. How well does Crystal remember her Overblot outfit? How she looked when she was fully consumed by the infection?
The outfit, I'm not sure. I know that she actually does have, like, pretty good memories of what happened in both of the spaces because she was actively trying to remember it for being able to use it as a like for information afterwards. But her outfit, I'm gonna roll. Yeah, okay, she remembers her outfit, yes.
So she remembers it. how much detail? Like what did I'm guessing that was a history roll. What number did that come out to?
That was a 13 plus her history is a 9, so a
Yeah.
21. She remembers it.
Yeah, Crystal, you know Juby is not book smart. He's not the wisest fellow either. He can't catch detail like the detectives can or other scholars that you've been around.
Mm.
This has too much detail. From the way that it still looks like there's ink dripping from the hem, and the way his wings have even shifted with it. It doesn't just look like the outfit. It's a lot of detail.
I don't like that.
You can probably put together that this might have hit pretty close to home. As it's there for long enough that he explains for her to see it and him to say, case in point, villain, as he gestures to himself before another snap and it fades away and he sits back down. That sort of thing, what you wound up, I suppose, embodying. There seems to be something with that clicks.
There's like, I gotta figure out which directions she's gonna take this because there are like two different paths.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay. All right, that makes sense. Sorry, Juby, she's she's not being
Mm-hmm.
as as tactful or as non-invasive as she might otherwise be, but
That's fine.
you've worn that before, haven't you?
That was mine. Not before it, but when this stuff happens, it dicks around a bit. So, like I said, trying to figure out how to help people. I haven't exactly been able to do much for anyone else. And can't exactly go to you and ask him for answers anymore. At least not right now.
Yeah. Yeah. Um uh do you want to roll inside on that?
Sure. Is this still? Yes, that's still a +6. Nice. That's a
Damn, okay.
21. The dice are
Yeah.
being nice. Thank you.
There is like she does grimace at that. Like there is the definite, it's very clear to see there's the worry there, same as probably a lot of people have had over Yu's disappearance.
Mm-hmm.
The like and the like determination of no, we're going to fix this.
Mm-hmm.
There is also a little bit of um guilt there
Mm-hmm.
because yeah, she knows that he went he disappeared after her overblot, so she is feeling not responsible but in a kind of adjacent category to that.
Mm. Oh, Crystal. Honey.
Yeah.
Aw.
One of those people who've been in those sort of situations and the could I have done something different kind of
Yeah.
mentalities.
Yeah. That is
Yeah.
noted. And it is clear that he has picked up on that because there is a very familiar flick of his ear feathers.
Mm.
Because, yeah, he's at home. He's not bothering to hide his tells right now.
Nice. But she will answer his question. It wasn't so much a single word, but phrase. Phrase sounds about right. I know that when it happened for me, it was a need to protect that was fueling it at any cost.
Ah. That. Yeah, that would be twisted. Okay. And let's roll it. Because he would not think to pull that out before. Okay. He does rummage in his sleeve, even if it's rolled up a little bit. And it takes him a second, but he does pull out a small notebook as she says this. And it might not big, but it is full of just. Does Crystal speak Thieves' Cant? Does she understand it?
Oh, she does actually, because I took one level in Rogue at one point.
Ha! Yes, Crystal. It takes you a second to recognize it because it's not the usual sort of Thieves' Cant. It's almost like if someone was writing in an accent, ironically. But you are able to pick up, as these pages are flipped through, you see familiar symbols that pop up here and there and are quickly able to piece together that all of the writing in this notebook is in Thieves' Cant. And you are able to probably catch a quick glimpse or so that these are definitely all notes relating to the Overblot.
Yeah, she has her own notebook.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if she'll pull that out. She might. Maybe not quite this second, but
yeah, it's clear this one's messy and like there's sticky notes in it on different pages and other stuff. Some are dog-eared. And he writes down, transcribing what you said in essentially shorthand via Thieves' Cant.
She does actually have a question for Juby about Overblot. And this is sort of like one that's been sort of sitting in her mind both for like personal reasons and for like stuff relating to hopefully when they manage to find you. And just all right, well, I guess my turn then to ask you. Did the Overblot talk to you?
Ugh. No, I said he's at home. He's not hiding. There is a frame skip. And immediately as that frame skips between one moment where he is just focused writing and the next his ear feathers are fully back and down and he's like cringing. Yeah, it's I'll admit I didn't exactly realize that it was Blot itself. But yeah, it did.
She nods like yeah, like I'm trying to figure out like whether she would push for more information or whether she's just gonna leave it there. I guess trying to like gain a bit of like insight.
I will say with her earlier insight rolling with that 17, It's clear Juby's not like cringing away from the conversation. He seems pretty open to this. Like, this is the purpose he came in to talk about.
Yeah. All right. In that case, I think she will ask. I'm just trying to figure out words. Sorry. Like,
You're good.
was it your voice or someone else's?
How well do you remember this? 2. Okay. This is fitting. He shrugs a shoulder. I can't quite recall. It might have been someone else. It might have. The things it said were fairly in line with my own internal monologue at the time. With common things I'd be frustrated with myself about. Really could have been. It's hard to tell if it was me thinking those things or if it was the blot. Pretty sure some of it was.
But it was speaking to you in your voice.
I don't know, honestly. I was in a bit of a dramatic monologue at the time.
that is in character. Like, she's not laughing, like, she's laughing in sympathy of the,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't exactly my proudest moment. As said, I thought I'd fallen off the fuck it, I'll use the words. Thought I'd fallen off the train and was just back to who I thought I was before the second time I died.
She doesn't know what to say to that because I don't think she was expecting him to bring up his she knows that he knows that she is aware of the fact that he's died, but it's still not something that she was like expecting him to bring up himself. So there is kind of a little bit of a like note taken kind of thing and a wince of sympathy, but I don't think she really has anything any words to say to that. So I think she's just gonna pull out her own notebook and make some notes. And you're welcome to roll something if you want to see anything about her own notebook as well.
Sure. He'll be nosy. We'll roll perception. 12.
Neat. Alright, what languages does Juby know?
Thieves can't in common. He is not the wisest of boys.
Fair enough. Alright. Would he recognize other languages?
Some.
All
he
right.
would be able to recognize Infernal and Sylvan. I think that's what Forsanonian. He recognizes Forsanonian.
Okay,
I don't know if that's Sylvan or not.
I think Forsanonian is... There's Sylvan in there, but it's not the same. I think it's a dialect of Sylvan.
Yeah, he's picked up some words from the twins.
All right. Well, it definitely looks different, and you can't read it. I'm sorry, Juby.
Yeah.
But you do recognize this as Sylvian.
Just kind of tilts his head, notes this, minds his own business, and covers for it by chuckling at her hesitation over The fact that he just blatantly brought up other stuff and is like, right. I haven't joked about it as much in the chat. I can't tell if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Probably a good thing. We're gonna guess it's a good thing.
Is that out loud?
Yes. That is out loud. He is thinking out loud.
I think she just pauses and I suppose I would say it's probably a good thing, but really it depends on what it means to you.
That is a complicated subject that varies on the day.
Generators.
We're gonna say right now, it's fine. We're good. It is representative of the lowest point that I was ever at, and that's where I thought, well, that's where the blot dragged me back to. So, we're a little disconnected from it. We're good. We're good. We're genuinely good. I'm not just whatever the word is. Things. The thing that the twins would bite me for. Well, yeah, the redheads. He would say the redheads, he wouldn't say the twins. Say the things the redheads would bite me for. There's 3 of them in this house.
Yeah. She looks she definitely looks unhappy about the fact that, like, she doesn't like that he got dragged to that point. If that's like his lowest point, that's what the blot dragged him to, like, that's very, very evident. But I think she will instead take a little bit of a lighter route with the comment about the redheads and the you say that like they won't take any excuse.
Well, I'm trying not to give them easy excuses, Crystal. I need to be able to bribe them. If I give them easy excuses, bribery doesn't work anymore.
I see. So this is how you act as an older sibling.
A bit. Hopefully they haven't been causing too much ruckus.
To be honest, it's been fine. A little bit has been probably good for my mental health. I might have been worried you'd all murdered each other or something if there was no noise whatsoever.
Well, for one, Camille won't allow murder. Leo would probably be crying too hard to do anything close to it. Timmy can never defeat me in combat. And 4, I'm just built different and I will never die from here.
Oh god. Okay, I need to figure out like the comment to that because I just like
I will say she can tell he's being purposefully lighthearted. And he is like grinning quite smugly in that cheeky way that you can tell he's being dramatic again.
I think yeah, okay, I think cool, gives me time to phrase my response because there's no way she's not taking that bait.
Speaking of younger brothers, mine just came down the stairs shouting. Awesome. Hopefully that didn't get picked up on recording, but we're cool. Yay.
I didn't hear anything, so hopefully you're good.
Excellent.
I think she'll say yeah, I think she'll say best be careful with an attitude like that. You're just asking for trouble.
Me asking for trouble? Now, Doctor, would I ever go asking for trouble? I have certainly learned my lesson after peril after peril. I will never get into peril again. And should it come looking for me, I will simply avoid it.
Yeah. The look, like, on her face is just, like... She doesn't believe that for a second. And there's this kind of, like, I can't tell if you're joking or not, and even if you were, I'm taking this seriously because Jubilee, please.
I will say, his grin as he is doing this, that was a whiz save. It's for funnies, I swear. Is very wobbly around the edges, and his shoulders are shaking just a little bit. He's trying so hard. He's trying so hard to not laugh.
All right, all right. In that case, there's a All right. Who are you and what have you done with Jubilee?
What? I don't think. Come on now. Could a shape changer ever mimic this perfection? I mean, really. It'd be truly impossible. I mean, a mirror might.
There is a snort of laughter. But there is also just a hint of don't... There are some very capable people out there. They might even manage to get your big head.
No, I don't think they could ever hope to come close to the experience that is being in my presence. Oh, stars, I can't say that with a straight face.
Nice. Yeah, there is, like, she just is going to, like, shake her head at that. But I don't think she's gonna say anything more. Oh, okay. The thing she will say is, you're incorrigible.
Thank you. I will add that to the list of my adverbs. It'll go right alongside annoying and handsome and devilish and a few others that I can't repeat in polite company.
Right. Well, I take that back. You're definitely Jubilee.
Told you. Well, I should also certainly hope that, well, nobody else could replace your gossip buddy.
No.
I know I've missed having mine around.
Oh, okay. That catches her off guard, and I, to be honest, I missed it too. Well, maybe not in the same way. I really kind of lost track of time for a while though. But I've missed this.
Not gonna blame you for losing time. It's pretty easy like that. Moving forward. Yeah. And not forgetting the fact that, some of us, a good number of us, like having you around. And, should you ever need a hand with anything, you can just ask.
Yeah, I've kind of had that lesson very thoroughly beat into my head recently.
Yeah, yeah. It happens sometimes. It takes a big fuck off dragon to teach that lesson. But it happens. Wait, they're not all big fuck off dragons, are they?
I don't believe so. Mine was some sort of plague doctor bird thing.
No, you did miss me!
Oh god.
He
How
has.
close? Okay, no, actually, where is my dice? I'm going to
Mhm.
make an attack roll with the pillow.
Please do. He is. He has the biggest asshole grin ever.
Okay, alright. I'm not quite sure what I should be adding to this roll. Dex, you reckon?
Sure. Just straight dex at it.
It's not a very good throw.
It's fine. It's a 10. I'll say it bonks him on the wing as he has very quick reflexes and is used to getting pillows yeeted at him in this household. What? That one didn't land?
Shut up.
Oh, never. That. Interesting, though. And he kind of pauses a second and is like, shite. Thought I'd be able to have something in here. I mean, on one hand, you have to admit, they're kind of cool. It's fucked up. They're really fucked up. It's not good. It's really not good. But they're kind of cool.
I had other things on my mind than how cool. Well,
Oh.
it was just the moment of the and then, well, no, actually, mine was quite literally cool. So maybe I did have that on the mind.
That's in character. That chuckle is.
Yeah, because hers was ice psychic type, so.
I need to see. Can prestidigitation cannot trinket or illusory image. Yes. And there is a moment where he kind of holds a hand up, and like slinking around his arm in a very lizard-like way is not a big image, but it is an image of a block construct that is cloth and warped, heat warped metal and leather, and even as it moves, there is clicking like the gears don't quite fit together right. But but it doesn't look scary. There's the inherent, oh god, that's a construct. But the way that Jubilee looks at it is not something with. It's not the same sort of reaction he had when he donned the outfit again.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's something interesting about it, you know?
That's what yours looked like?
More or less. What I can remember of it. I'll admit I had a bit of a talk with you and Inkspace afterwards. It happened later, not during everything. A bit of a wreck, put it lightly. And also burning alive. That was not fun. That hurt.
Yeah, I imagine so.
Yeah. But, yeah, it turns out if you look at things a little differently, they're not all that bad. Suppose you just need to learn what about it was a problem. Then again, I might just be making shit up as I go. I don't know. I've sort of been trying to figure out a lot of this on my own from hearsay and just picking up conversations that I, catch.
I suppose well, it's definitely a unique way of looking at it.
Mm.
Not necessarily a bad thing. I can't say I had the same experience myself, but I suppose the difference is that you've been doing most of this after
Yeah.
your blot, and I'd been doing it before.
Yeah. You asked me before, I would have focused, well, everything that it represented, as opposed to being able to, hear the perspective shift that was brought up. That probably doesn't make sense. That sounds cryptic. Give me a second. And he flips back a few pages. And he did notice Crystal reading it and will hand it over.
Cool.
So she can have the journal. And
Ooh.
it's a little messy. A little bit. Just mainly because there's so much stuffed into it and like crossed out and like annotated and like theories that were originally something and then they're scribbled out and like no it's actually this and that kind of thing.
Yeah. Can I roll investigation?
Go ahead.
Nice. All right.
23. Yeah.
Great.
Let's go, girl.
This is
Yeah.
one of the things she's good at.
Yeah, Crystal, you are able to see that this details a conversation that it mentions. This is after a conversation with you, and it goes over different aspects. There's different things listed. There are keywords. There's first prominently the word villain written out with an arrow, and then the word showman question mark, protector question mark, and next to that, like, what role did this become? There's dragon underneath. That was, you see notes on how they're destructive, how they're typically villainous, mention of the specific like damage that it did and decay, and then noting there's notes that it held back when attacking Tome, that it seemed big and loud, but the fight was quick. That something about it being weak to radiant damage. and little notes about it, like what is this and where was this? Something going from seeing this as a destructive force to what it was like, oh, I recognize this. This is what I would do. Oh, I would try and puff up and be big and scary and try and terrify people away. And why did he see this? Why is there fire? The word paradise is written by it. And like, necrotic question mark. Oh, because we're death. And like then you see theater below that, and there's some more different things like performance versus other stuff. Like I'm not getting into full detail. That could take a while,
Oh
but there's
yeah,
clearly like
yeah,
a lot.
yeah. She's
Mm-hmm.
actually she puts the notebook down like on one side and
Mm-hmm.
has her notebook on the other, and is sort of like very rapidly um
Mm-hmm.
making like jotting down like comparisons and like
Mm-hmm.
yeah, comparing what Juby's written to what she remembers, which is pretty dang good because I just rolled for that and I got I'll put what I actually got history wise for that.
Nice. We love big numbers. Let's
That's a
go.
26
Let's
on
go,
history.
Crystal.
Yeah, so she's like jotting down, you know, the different uh the similarities and the differences. Like hers um wasn't vulnerable to radiant damage, but it was vulnerable to um fire and necrotic. And it definitely had associations with cold and um mental um and sort of jotting down um the motivations and stuff behind her own, like where it's aligning with how she was seeing herself, how it had an emphasis on control and uh trying to maintain the battlefield and
Mm-hmm.
uh that kind of thing. And I think she does pause at the it wouldn't attack tome, um because hers didn't actually do a lot of damage to any of the party.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's hard to tell if that was because of how they'd gone at fighting it, or whether it had been holding back. She doesn't know.
Mm-hmm. Juvie pipes up at this point as she's writing, like, I'll admit I've had time to obsess over this. Yes, I'll admit it. I think introspect too much. Either way. But there's a point, which, I mean, if you figure out how it can't be, like, it's got to be universal in some ways, right? So if we know what it pulled from us, we might be able to figure out if it, well, when it happens to you, what we might be up against.
She can definitely share a piece of information there that might be
Mm-hmm.
useful. Um,
Hmm.
the if it draws on the things that are if it draws on the things that are most vulnerable from its host and the worst parts of themselves, or at least the perceived worst parts,
Mm-hmm.
Then I imagine it will have strong associations with Carly.
Of course it will. Because facing Rick himself isn't bad enough. Yeah. He sucks. He does. I have to. Thinking about him just feels slimy.
You and me both.
He's... I need to get better at punching. I really want to punch him in the face. Look, I know I'm not the strong one here. I'm good with swords and a little better with magic. I'm learning. I'm figuring it out. I can hit things with it. It's good. I can hit things, but just a good fist in the face would feel really good. Because he just needs to learn how to shut up. He does.
Yeah, I'm not one for physical violence either, but honestly, almost tempted.
See, it's really tempting. I mean, his existence is an insult to corvids everywhere, and I take that a bit personally, really. I mean, I'm not one, but I did grow up with them, and he just makes them look bad. He's fucking asshole.
It's also an insult to teachers and people who are supposed to be in positions of power.
Yeah, that's right. He's supposed to be one of those. Ugh. Ugh. Gross. Yeah. I think just. You want to just shake on it, just make a pact that. In the showdown, because there's going to be one. I can see plot a mile away. This is plot shit. It's here. It's fucking here. And obviously, he's not going. He won't let us get close to you. Well, Yura. Anyway. Certainly didn't let Tom and I close without sticking his stupid beak in. But just. Everyone gets one good punch. I just think that should be. Just for the sake of it. Just one really good one. I'll do too. I'll punch on your behalf if you would like. I will.
I'd appreciate it. I'm likely to do more damage to myself than someone else.
Fantastic, I get to. Great.
To be honest, the thing that Crystal's handed me is she would really like to stab him, actually.
Like, does she say this out loud? Or would you like me to roll insight for Juby to see if he can pick up the stabby vibes?
I don't know if she would say it, so maybe roll insight, because right now she's kind of holding back honestly, punching feels too kind.
9. Thanks. Great.
Hold on,
Thanks,
I'll roll a
Juby.
deception.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, sorry, you don't get that. You don't get that she wants to stab him.
He's reveling in the fact he gets 2 punches.
Fair enough.
It's fine. It's like, okay, we've got this. It'll be fine. We're good. All right. Who knows? I might ask Leo for how to punch good. Given he's better at punching statues. We'll see.
And constructs.
Oh, he punched the thing in your fight.
He did, yes. You are welcome to roll another insight this time. Oh, nice.
Of course it rolls better. Juby, you fucking sap. Of course you roll well when it comes to your siblings.
Yeah, he might have also been able to, he might have done something else that she's a little bit concerned about, because she was actually close enough to hear him say that he wanted to murder it.
Hmm. He is. Yeah, the stabby vibes vibe check missed. This vibe check picked up on, and
Yeah.
he tilts his head. It's again very bird-like, and yes, the ear feathers flop as he does so. Just oh no, what did he do?
More, less something that he did, and more. Hmm, he was quite upset by my overblot. I want to talk to him about it.
Hmm. All right. Should I be keeping an eye on him?
I don't know. I've never been around Leo in a fight before. I don't know if that's how he normally acts or not. But it did.
All right, let me rephrase the question. As a fellow older sibling, should I be worried? Not
Um,
from strategic or a friend or a doctor, but if it was your younger sibling, would you be worried?
I, just for the record,
Hmm.
I worry about a lot as an older sibling, so maybe take this with a grain of salt, but I'd definitely be keeping an eye on him.
Hmm. And you're not the only one who worries. Some of us just do a really good job at hiding it.
I'm not sure if you've noticed, but I'm not particularly good at hiding my worry.
Mm, true. Once again, we prove I'm just built different. But I'll keep it in mind. Can my siblings stop doing something stupid for like 5 minutes, please?
I have been asking myself that for, well, since I've met them, honestly.
Yeah, yeah. It's I'll just it's just a plea to the universe that maybe they'll stop. Just maybe. Maybe one time they'll stop for like a week.
Something not happening for a week honestly sounds like both a blessing, and yet I feel like if it happened, I would worry more.
Yeah, it does seem like it would be ominous. Timmy not getting up to some sort of scheme for a week solid, I'd think he was sick.
Right.
Hmm.
Also, I will roll off of that insight you rolled.
Mm-hmm.
She is she is joking about this, but there is a sort of lingering um a lingering like heaviness
Mm-hmm.
about this topic. You can probably guess with some of the other things she said before that this might be linked to some of the things about her own overblot.
Mm-hmm. Man. All right. Well. Just means that if we're going to be worrying Then suppose we should check up on them and learn to trust that they're not going to get themselves in some havoc or another. Or if they do get into it, trust that they'll be able to handle them.
Getting into trouble, I'm afraid I'm not sure if I trust them that much on it. Handling themselves, I'm coming around on.
Hmm. Seems like it's a tough lesson to learn.
I have no idea. Well,
Hmm.
actually, probably one of the few who do.
Just a bit. Though, I'll admit, mine was a slightly different flavor of learning people. But, pretty close.
Hmm.
So, let's agree to not disregard that, so we don't get whacked over the head for being stupid, because we are the eldest siblings, and, well, respective eldest. And we need to at least act like we have our shit together, so that they can't come for us and be like, well, what about that one time? You have to say no. I know best. And give them a reason to not doubt you.
There is like just yeah, that is getting like some soft
Mhm.
chuckles from her, like the
Mhm.
uh might be a little late for that.
Mm, can't hope to salvage it at all. Hmm. Shame.
I can certainly try, but younger siblings are usually pretty good at remembering that sort of thing.
Yeah, lad. I guess you're stuck having to rely on us. Such a shame. So terrible a fate to have befallen thee. And shit. As I nearly tip over in my chair. Fuck it. Juby almost does. He does the whole woe is me thing with the like hand to the forehead and is leaning way back, and I'm gonna make a dex save. Fuck it. Disadvantage because rule of funny. Oh, yeah. All right. He
It's
manages
actually
it.
pretty good.
He catches himself with his wings because having extra limbs is helpful. But
Imagine
he
he
does.
does.
Go on.
Imagine he does tip the chair over, but he's just like done it enough that he knows how to get back on his feet without actually falling over.
Yeah, it's the chair does like tip and slide, but he has caught himself and is like precariously balanced before righting himself, standing back up and like dusting himself off a second. Like, oof, all right. I think I can take a hint with that.
Yeah, she's like, there was that sort of like, um, the amusement turned to, oh god, like, is he going to be all right? To the, oh no, he's fine. Just like roll of the eyes of the that's what you get kind of thing. Um, before she gets serious once more with what he said, and it's scary, the thought. Not necessarily all bad, but still terrifying.
Yeah, it can be. It's a perspective shift. And you've lived your life thinking one thing or doing things one way, and suddenly you're confronted with the worst case scenario. It's, oh god, I'm being proven right. And then it turns out okay. It's tough to get used to it being okay. I don't blame you. And can't fault you for it either. There may have been a reason. No, you go.
I've been relying on only myself for so long. I'm not sure if I know how not to.
Yeah, it's tough, innit? Not being sarcastic. It's tough learning to trust people and let them in. Again, might have come from different places, but needing to trust that people won't drop you because you do the wrong thing, say the wrong thing. Show that you're not the perfect fit for the mold you're trying to pretend to be. Or having to trust that others that they'll be alright. That you can't control everything. Having to learn to let go. Let others help. I can kind of get it.
Yeah. I imagine so. I'm terrified that I may make a mistake and it'll cost me someone, or that I won't. I will do everything right and it still might cost me someone.
Yeah, that's a tough one. I can't say I have the answers for that. I don't know. Well, hard to say if anyone has a way that you can perfectly assure that.
No better than most. There isn't really any guarantee that it won't happen.
So you have to put your faith in the ones that do. The ones that want to be here. The ones that matter. They'll stick around. I know that a lot in this house. Bit like ivy. Just cling. Can't really get rid of us.
I'm sure you've tried. I know I have.
I spent 5 years running away from family. I think if any of them can put up with me after that, well, I'd like to think it proved me wrong. That people would leave me behind. And if that can happen for me when I was a right ass and actively fucking shit up, for someone like you who is trying to do the right thing, might go a bit better.
I thank you. I'm hoping that I don't mess things up, but more than that, I'm gotta trust that they can take care of themselves too. Not that it's going to stop me from trying to take care of them too, but
Oh no, I don't think anybody wants you to stop trying. I, for one, would absolutely miss when you tear into people being idiots who aren't me.
gotta be fair, Jubilee. If you
What?
do it too, you're going to get it.
What? I always have perfectly good reasonings for my actions. If those reasonings are excuses, well. Either way.
Hmm. Excuses are, well, everyone has reasons for what they do. Whether they think those are good things afterwards is another case.
Mm-hmm. Fair. This got a bit heavy. Let's. Shite. I really just came in here to check on doing all that. Maybe ask a question or feeling up to it. Didn't mean for this to go this.
It's alright. Well, you've been making things much more pleasant. To be honest, the heaviness is probably from me. I've been thinking a lot about it afterwards.
Yeah, it's a bit like that. If just offering and cross my heart as your gossip buddy. If you need to talk about anything with it, I won't tell anyone.
I'm glad to know that you're not cheating on me with another gossip buddy.
I would never. And it is the most dramatic, like, gasp in the way that is so obvious that this guy is full tune.
Yeah. She figured she really does appreciate that offer, especially because um it is nice to have people to talk to this about, and Jubilee does know a lot of the things that she's going through. But she also figured he would appreciate the joke,
Yes.
the joke thank
Mhm.
you more than a sincere one. So
Mhm. Yeah, and she does not need to roll insight on this. He does. He does appreciate it, and he gets what she's trying to say. He's just gotta roll with the bit.
yeah. There is I think like hmm um there are other things that she does want to sort of talk about with the what she's been thinking about, and thinking about the state that she was in before, but
Mhm.
she kind of is not she's not used to this. She's not used to talking to people about it, so she's not
Mhm.
sure what to say.
Mhm. Juby will pause. Let's see if he can actually do the cool thing he's gonna try to do. Probably Dex. That's straight Dex. Because he must be dramatic. That's an 11. He tries real hard to kick the chair back upright, and he kind of succeeds, but it wobbles. And the coolness factor of it, because I'm not rolling, he doesn't get that bonus. No, no, my boy. Um, the coolness factor is broken as he quickly scrambles to make sure that the wobble does not get worse before he sits back down.
I I do think that that makes her laugh again, like
Mhm.
the oh, you tried so hard and it didn't work, and there is that you know when when your friend or sibling or something like that does that, and you're like, I appreciate the gesture, but God, that was so funny.
Yeah. Like, yeah, laugh it up. I'm everyone's personal jester. Fuck. Words. Ugh. Bloody hell. But, well, seeing as my schedule, and he checks his wrist, which absolutely does not have a watch on it, does not wear a watch. And it's not even the one that he has his bracelet on. Which, he has a bracelet that has a fun little ember charm on it. Yeah, no, it's not. That's not even the one he checks. It's just like, well, from what I can tell, my schedule's still free. If you have anything else.
I'm not sure where to start. I guess I'm still unraveling a lot of it myself.
Hmm. Well, I'd say the beginning is the place to start, but that's not exactly helpful at the moment. Hmm.
I
Those of
worked
you.
out why I didn't want to overblot.
Oh.
Scared. I didn't want to be the reason people got hurt again.
Oh. Hmm. Yeah, that sounds about right. Hmm.
Which definitely wasn't helped by, well, the things that it was saying to me.
Can I ask what it said? You don't have to answer the thing.
uh, it, well, it worked out somewhere along the way that I was only really using magic when I deemed it to be sufficient emergency enough to do so. So, kind of had to put up with a lot of thoughts of telling me that everyone was in danger, and if something happened to them, it would be my fault.
That's fucked up. I mean, it is. Look, I could put it a fancier way if you want me to, but it is fucked up.
Yeah, it is, and God, the worst part about it all is that it had been happening for so long, I didn't even realize how bad it had gotten.
Hmm. Yeah, that's tough. I mean, I can't say anything to the opposite. My own situation. Yeah, yeah. It's what's that phrase? Hindsight is 2020.
Yeah, it's a bit of a bitch, too.
My. What language, Doctor?
Don't you start. I'm pretty sure you started this conversation with something much worse. I can't remember what he started with, but it was something rough.
Probably. He has been swearing the entire time.
Yeah.
Let's be real. He's just snickering under his breath.
I don't know why she's so indignant about this. Like, yeah, she's a professional. She tries not to swear very often, but she's like, I can't do it. It's not that big of a deal.
He's just giggling about it.
You can tell she looks like she looks a little like puff up at that, like.
It's fine, it's fine. You can swear. It's just funny to poke fun at you. Hmm.
I
Go on.
I'm just like, yeah, okay. That's the thing. She might just like poke a finger out at him and better watch yourself, Jubilee, or I will start monitoring your language.
Monitor my language. What?
Yes, you are an older sibling after all. You're supposed to be a role model.
I prefer example of what not to do. Well, all right. Trying to do better about that. And he like looks at the door like pointedly and like is quiet for a second, waits, like ear feathers like extended in a way that shows that he's clearly like listening out for any of the other inhabitants in the house before relaxing. Okay. Not supposed to say that anymore. Working on it. But a few things. Firstly, Timmy is worse than I am, and I did not start that with the kid. He was like that before I adopted him. Secondly, I'm already broke. I can't put anything in a swear jar or anything like that. Do you think I'm made of money? I'm the one who has nothing. I have no cash ever.
I think that there is just like there was a bit of a softer look at the like working on it bit, like, because yeah, him and her both, but there is just kind of a bit of like smugness from her because she doesn't win these sort of arguments very often. So she's taking it while she can, and well, best be keeping our comments to ourselves then, shouldn't we?
Oh, God. No, it's a D2. He loses the battle against his impulse control. Once again, he has none. Just... Yeah, I'm not thin fucking ice, of course I am. Just kind of crosses his arms and sinks a bit in the chair as he's grumbling.
Yeah, I think she'll even be. She's very happy she's won one of these conversations. Like, it's just like, yeah, it's very, very obvious that she's very happy with this result, and him grumbling in his chair is only making it worse.
That's why he's not sulking too much. But he is grumbling because what the fuck do you mean? What do you mean I have to watch my language? What am I, 5?
Yeah, well, maybe you wouldn't need to watch your language if you didn't poke at the much less bad language of the other person in the room. It's like, two can play at that game.
God, I love Crystal. I love her so much.
God, I love how much she's driven by spite sometimes. Like the pettiest spite too.
It is fantastic, and she deserves it. Okay. I'm good. Caught between me and Juby, who is grumbling for the sake of not starting to laugh. Because he too is incredibly petty over just the most nonsensical stuff. But having it turned around on him is like, okay, fair, all right. You didn't have to, but fair.
Oh yeah, she doesn't tend to pull her punches. She's just usually pretty bad with like matching wits. I love this about her. She is so smart, but her charisma is terrible.
She's done it. She did it. She won.
She won an argument.
Applause for her.
Uh,
Juby settles from his little grumble fit, his hissy fit. Just all right. Fine. I'll try and watch the language.
Thank you, Jubilee. I appreciate your sorry, I'm just trying to think of the right words here. Thank you, Jubilee. I appreciate your insurmountable effort.
It really is. I still have to get. No, I can't even get the one swear a day because Tom can just swear all the time now. That was all my fun. Fine.
She's not being serious, but
yeah, neither is he. It's for the sake of going with it.
yeah.
Actually,
I do think sorry.
I said if you want, you can have Crystal roll insight.
Oh, yeah. I shall.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's not too bad actually.
Because he has been doing this the entire conversation. So, Eehoo. 18. Yeah.
Nice.
And Crystal is able to tell with, like, how it's clear that he's in on the joke and in on the fact that she's not serious, but she's able to pick up that in moments where, like, oh yeah, it did start getting, the conversation started getting tough. He's not open with showing how much he cares. But it's become more and more obvious through when he chose to joke around and be dramatic and make a fool of himself, which is, she knows he can hide that shit. He doesn't have to let it show. He can put on a good act. But it's clear when she grins and when she laughs that he seems to ease up a bit more, and his grin is a little softer around the edges. Like there's a definite purpose that he came in here for and why he's silly when he does.
He cares about her.
He does. He cares about his friend a lot. And it's obvious that when he started this, he was really worried about her. And each time he can make her grin and laugh and see her relax and keep up with the jabs, that it's like, okay, she's all right. She's going to be okay.
That actually segues nicely into what I think I wanted to sort of bring up, which was sort of the purpose of her bringing it up in the first place. But yeah, no, this segues so much nicer into it with the. I probably don't need to say this, but you should do this too for Euro when we get him out. I think he'll need it.
That obvious, was I?
Just a bit. But, well, easier to tell when it's easier to recognize that sort of thing.
Yeah. I think I'll do my best.
Good, because I'm certainly not going to be able to help a huge amount in that regard. I'm not particularly good when it comes to words, and, well, when I make people laugh, it's usually not on purpose.
What? You were doing so well back there.
That was honestly a little bit of a fluke. I'm really not that good with words. Well, written words, yes. Vocal ones, a bit harder.
Well, I'm a bit shit at writing anything. Well, I can, but anything longer than maybe a letter. How about we say I leave that up to you? If we have to do anything of that sort.
Probably for the best. Wouldn't want you to drive you to boredom.
More like I would make it just go on too long. Not really. It just runs away from me. But I think Yora would be happy to have you around too. Good with words or not.
Oh, I certainly plan on being there. Probably going to need to be once everything's said and done, but well, some tasks are better suited to other people. And I think it's going to take a pretty combined effort to make sure he pulls through.
Yeah.
In a decent way.
Let's aim for more than decent. Yeah, let's aim for the best. And if we get slightly less than that, well, then we still got realistically good. So.
Yes.
Bloody hell, speaking of tasks, that was the other thing. And he, sits up, looks, around for a second, when you pat your pockets looking for something. Pats his sleeve and then remembers that he gave Crystal the journal. It's like, oh, right. I can't remember if we ever shared this. I know that you were busy, and then by the time I just kept getting pulled into shit. Plot bloody well hates me. The fuck, I called it something different. Don't get on me. I know I lasted less than 5 minutes. Don't get on me.
She's been her fingers had just been sort of counting up in the background.
No, I'm broke. No, it doesn't count. I don't have a copper piece to my name. At least let me go on a heist. Then we can start. Haven't heisted yet. Give me a month. And then if you want to get on my case, you can. Not before a month. But if you flip the stars, I don't number the pages. Why do I think I number the pages? Because there's numbers in all the bloody pages. Just flip before you can see there's something. It actually looks coherent and isn't in code. There's the recipe. I want to make sure people know. I didn't share it in the main chat because it's always busy. I don't know if you talked and learned the thing to make the. It's not the supercharged juice. It's the lemonade. That's what it is.
Right. No, that's a good idea. It's a good idea for everyone to have at least some of it on them, just in case.
Yeah. And
I'm gonna roll an investigation.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, that's a nat 20.
Yeah.
That's a 29. She fights it instantly.
Mm-hmm.
I think this, Juby, you have not really seen Crystal work before, but this is kind of shows like why she's so good at her job, because she's only flicked through your journal once, and she, as soon as you start explaining, she's just already sort of flicking through it and pulling it up to the right page.
And on one hand, impressed. On the other hand, intimidated. Like, oh God, if there's anything that I had secrets in there, uh-oh.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but I'm gonna say with that role, she kind of memorized it, probably.
Yeah, he can probably guess that. And just like, one hand, he's very glad that she is his friend and not his enemy. He is. It's just, you can see in the corner, Juby will remember this.
Look, she contains a lot of knowledge, but she's also very, very strong on the privacy part. So anything she learned in there that was personal to him, she would die before that made it out of her.
Yeah, there's nothing that's personal that wasn't already discussed. It's just a lot of notes and ramblings and things that were found out, and just like literally all of his information on any of the cases, hearsay.
Nice.
He just, yeah, he'd say it. Fuck it. Yeah. You know, it's kind of scary when you can do that, right?
I think there's just this moment of like she hadn't even realized that she was doing it, and then I I've been kind of doing this like most of my life, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe all of my life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like when Camille calls out bullshit, like instantly. You're too good at this. Really, yeah, I'm really glad that we're friends. I'm really glad that we're friends. That's all I'm gonna say on that.
Well, to be fair, if we weren't friends, you probably wouldn't have given me this to do so.
Yeah, probably not. At least I would have made it really hard to get a hold of.
Well, good reason I didn't need to get it for any other reason then.
I mean, you wouldn't find much interesting in there. All the really good secrets are kept elsewhere.
I'm glad that there is nothing too personal in here, but I have to admit that does make me curious. Not enough to go looking, but well,
Mm.
you have to admit it is a curious thing.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'll admit I do have to hide shit from the menaces. Again, still, month is not up. Month is not up. But when you have several nosy younger brothers who like to steal from you, and some of the hiding spots have been given up for the sake of enrichment because they're going to steal all of my snacks no matter what I do, you learn some about where to find stuff, like they just never go in my closet. It works.
Well, that's on the one hand quite impressive given the caliber of investigators for brothers that you have, that you've managed to keep anything from them. On the other, somehow the closet doesn't surprise me. I feel like it would be hard to find anything in there.
It's organized. Ish. Ish.
Hmm. If
I'll
it's
show
anything
you
like
another time.
If it's anything like some of the performers I know, they wouldn't be able to get out of there without becoming red-handed either from the amount of glitter they would carry back out.
Oh, stars, I don't have glitter in there. No, 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 no. I'm not having glitter in there. Otherwise, I would be covered in glitter constantly. Can you imagine my entire wardrobe just glitter everywhere? I mean, I would make it work, but but it's like those phantom thieves. If I tried to go on a heist covered in glitter, it's basically the same thing as what they do, prancing about all over the place.
Yes, I'm sure you would make yourself quite the target.
Yeah, no, thanks. I'll much prefer to stick in the shadows. That works. It's just like you could see there's a moment of like taking no telling trade secrets to anyone. All right.
Don't worry. My lips are sealed. Just that, yeah, she's not going to tell anyone.
Mhm.
That's not her
Mhm.
business to tell. And um, they can either find it all on their own because
Mhm.
they will probably at some point. Let's be real, or
Yeah.
or it's something that is not her concern.
Mhm.
So like
It's
she will.
all wishful thinking on Juby's part that any of his brothers have not gotten into all of his stuff.
Yeah, to be fair, it is something that she's like tucking away just in case it ever becomes important.
Mhm.
But no, like she will respect his privacy and she's got no reason to tell anyone else either. It's funner this way.
Yeah. Like that said, I can show you later when you're feeling better.
I appreciate it. I have not really been able to see a huge amount of the house yet.
Fair. Because not all of us go stir crazy after one rest. Good on you.
Uh, it is. I can't say I blame you. It really sucks trying to recover from something.
Yeah. Yeah. At least we know what it is now. And probably makes it a bit easier. At least help treat all of it.
Yes, I will admit some of my motivations are probably less than stellar. Partially doing so in order to make sure that I can help when we go looking for you. And partially so that I can not be called a hypocrite when I force him onto bed rest afterwards.
Well, someone has to. Well, no, I think most everyone presently in this house is a hypocrite. Welcome to the club. I don't think you're escaping, even with the effort.
No, I think I've well and truly blown that out the window by now.
Eh, just
Shame.
gotta call the others out first.
I'd been doing so well too.
I know. Sorry. We don't even have t-shirts. This is like the worst club. Don't have t-shirts. We don't even have mugs. Like that's like the bare minimum for a club is a nice mug. But no.
I feel like that might not be a bad gift idea. Just hypocrite on a mug. You can, I don't know, subtly hand it to someone if they, under the guise of being polite.
Yep. Yeah, next time tea time rolls around, I'll all hypocrite mugs. Just one for everyone. Yep.
Mm, sounds like a worthy investment.
You'll be invited.
Well, I feel like on the one hand I should be offended, but we've already established that it's true. Still, the principle remains.
Oh, does it? It's just some friendly tease from your gossip buddy. Surely that makes up for it.
Well, I suppose when you put it that way, I can spare the pain.
Mm-hmm. And you can also spare me the pain of extending maybe to infinity of ever bringing up swear jar around me. Thank you.
Oh, that I can't guarantee.
I think you
After all,
can.
we wouldn't want to be a hypocrite now, would we?
No. Look, you're in the club. You really don't. You don't need. You can just this one on just this one. You can. You get a free pass on this one. You can. You really can.
Hmm. 1 month. Make no promises beyond that.
3 months.
No, I'm pretty sure you said I had 1 month earlier.
No, I'm saying it's 3.
1 week.
2 months.
2 weeks.
No, I can't. No, can't plan a heist in 2 weeks. Can't do it. I need precise details. This is very, very complicated work. Probably on par with the level of your research, which certainly take 2 weeks if you want it to turn out well and cover all your bases, account for every possibility. Month and a half.
Month.
Month and a week?
A month. I'm not budging on this.
Ugh, fine, 1 month.
All right, 1 month, and I promise I won't mention the swear jar in that month.
All right. Yeah, because whenever we face whatever's coming up, there will be a lot, and I don't think even a heist would cover that out.
Yeah, you know what? I will give you a complete free pass for what's coming up because, to be honest, I have a few choice words for the matter as well, and, well, hypocrite and all that.
No, I don't think hypocrite at this point. Again, free pass for this. Free pass on your end. Because choice words for the bastard. Yeah.
That's good, because, to be honest, I really want to stab the bastard.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you want to borrow one of my knives for it? I have a few.
I do have a knife of my own, but thank you for the offer.
Fair enough. Look, I'll admit I'm not exactly the paragon of morality in this household.
Yeah, well, no judgment there.
It's fine. We have healing spells. We stab him, we can heal him, then we stab him again. Fine.
Yes, I can certainly make sure that he doesn't bite it.
Wonder if I can drop kick him, this guy. I tried that once. It didn't work. Well, not on him. But need to practice that. Get good. Be suitably dramatic.
Do I want to ask,
I mean, you can, but do you want to?
Mm. You know what? No, probably not.
Shame, it's a good story.
Well,
He
all
just
right.
chuckles and, again, is just lounging on this chair. He's chilling.
All right, fine. If you're gonna twist my arm like that.
Oh, twisting your arm. No, 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 no. Not me. But, for the record, Azumi is a slippery bastard who is very hard to hit. um,
um, I think that does get her a laugh at the. Well, there's your first problem. You tried it on Azumi.
Well, look, we had promised a free hit, and I thought that he would respect the rule, but no, he didn't, which is awful, and especially the fact that he didn't have the decency to even stop walking or pay attention, and it was a whole thing, and out of character as Juby would continue to rant and tell this story. I think that's a pretty good spot to wrap it up if we're good.
No, I think I was gonna say the same. I think that's an excellent spot to wrap things up with Jubilee regaling her with some of his antics to because to be honest, it is a little boring being stuck in one room for several days. She has stuff that she can do. She has a ton of books that she can read and look into and stuff. But it is still nice to be able to do something else.
And let's see. For the sake. Yeah. That is
Nice.
performance. This is just how, because yeah, when you're stuck in a room having to recover, it sucks. And so Juby is going to tell this story. And with a 25 in performance, he is going to act it out and just make it into the most dramatic production he can.
Yeah, I think Crystal will enjoy that. You will definitely get a lot of snarky commentary on both sides of it from her. Like she will not hold back on like pointing out how stupid some of the stuff is or like how impractical or like
Yeah,
that kind of
it's
thing.
fine. It's a story of how he had a spar with Azumi and eventually lost.
I think she might have known that he lost the fight to Azumi. I think he might have mentioned that last time, so she's not surprised by
Yes.
the end. Probably wouldn't have been surprised anyway because like she has seen Azumi in battle.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just he over dramatizes it in a way that makes it seem like it could be a movie. He's an excellent storyteller.
Yes.
And we can leave out with this funny little show for Crystal.
Yeah, I do think there's probably one comment in there, maybe in the middle or towards the end of the "Don't let it go to your head, but you're a very good storyteller."
And of course, he does the most dramatic bow as if he is facing a crowd in a theater. Because of course he does.
Of course he does. He's a showman. He can't go halfway. Aw,
I
that was
hold
cute.
these two. Yes, it was. Thank you, Candle, for playing with me today.
Oh, thank you for indulging me when I popped in. Like, hey, we should do something.
Yes, and it was amazing, and I love
That
it.
was so good.
And their dynamic is so funny.
I
I
do.
love
I
it.
love them. I love that
Mhm.
they're gossip buddies. I like
Mhm.
that they. I like that Juby brings out like her funnier side. She doesn't get to indulge in
Mhm.
that often.
Hmm. All right. And with this, our dear audience, both present and future listeners, we bid you a very good time zone. Thank you for listening to our funny game. Bye
Hope
bye.
you had fun. Bye.